Hey everybody, my name is Lindsay Paris and I am very excited to welcome you to the Homebodies Fitness Show today. We have on the show Lindsay Paris.
Hello.
Hi Lindsay, are you excited for today's workout?
Oh, I'm so excited. I've seen so many of Gina's shows and I'm just very happy to be here.
This was going to be a real fun one, guys. I can't wait. So Lindsay is going to be performing a full body workout that focuses on toning and slimming the body, which is absolutely perfect with this time of year. We have spring coming up and, well, actually we're already in spring now, so it's a perfect time to get into that slimming and firming mode with our fitness program. So we also will be covering the Twitter question later on, so be sure to stay tuned. Some days I work long hours. How can I make sure that my workout isn't the thing that gets canned? So we'll deal with that question at the end, people, so please hang in there and wait for that. So, Lindsay, with our full body toning workouts, what we want to try to do is start out with the legs. It's a great warm-up for us. So the first one we're going to do is called bottom half squats.
Okay.
Now, there's two versions we can do with the weight or without. So I'll show you the one with the weight. So we're going to be standing on our mat with our legs a little bit wide, holding the weight in the front. Now, the bottom half squats, what that means, this is a full squat. Okay, so we're just going to stay in the bottom half of the range. So it's only half of the motion, but it's probably double the trouble for your muscles because they're going to get super tired super quick. Okay, so that's with the weight. If you don't use the weight, if you need to kind of break into it a little bit, then you would do just arms, genie arms. Get your genie on.
Okay.
All right, so why don't we start with that one with you, and I'll see how you look.
Okay.
And we'll take it from there.
So we come out like this, and do you have your toes pointing outwards?
Yes,
kind of?
they are going to be slightly out, so that looks great.
Okay. And genie arms?
Genie arms,
okay.
Yep.
And then like this, kind of, and then do you like bounce or you stay?
You want to do the bottom half only,
Okay.
So come up and down. So it's reps. You want to go as low as you can, and then come up only halfway.
Okay.
Even lower. Yeah.
Whoa.
Lift your chin. There you go.
Oh, this is tough. I feel that.
You feel it in your glutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So that's good. So that's the bottom half squats, and it's really good for toning your bottom half.
I can feel it already.
So the name kind of goes along with it. So why don't you do 10 of them for us? And do you think you can try the weight?
Yeah.
All right. So I brought her 5. That's a good starting point if you have never tried this one.
Does the weight help with like toning more?
It does. So generally what you want to do is you want to find a weight that allows you to do about 15 repetitions before you get tired.
Okay.
If
So
you can do more than 15, you need to add more weight.
Okay. So
you can hold that right to your chest. A little bit closer.
Like
yeah,
that.
perfect.
And then up and down.
Exactly.
Like
Chin up. Perfect. So once you know you've got your balance, you've got to take your eyes off that floor and lift your chin.
Okay.
Nice. Good.
This is tough.
Now, she does
that's
running
10.
sometimes.
Uh-huh.
So runners, if you think about it, when you run, you're not really bending your legs that deep.
Right.
So you're really going to feel this. It's going to be really different for you.
Yeah.
So if you wake up tomorrow and you're like, oh my gosh, my butt's really sore, you'll know it's my fault.
Okay. Okay. And you feel it a little bit like I feel it like here.
You'll feel it in your quads as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I do more?
I think you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to save your energy for for the rest of them here.
Awesome.
Okay, so the next one, there's a clamshell exercise that I've shown here on the show. So I'm just going to show you guys a couple of those so that you can remember these. So the clamshell is lifting the top knee up. Now the reason that's important is we're doing one called the reverse clamshell. So it's actually the opposite motion, so the foot lifting instead of the knee. So what that's going to do is it's going to get the inside muscles of your hips that are very hard to reach with just about any other exercise. So I'm going to let Lindsay give that a shot.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a funky one.
I've never seen that before.
No.
Okay.
Have you seen the clamshell?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you do like this? Do you hold your
knees
head?
touching, yep, and you want to lift your foot as high as you can.
Oh, so
with the
keep
knees touching
the
still.
Knees touching.
That's the tricky part.
Like this part?
So people will say, well, how high am I supposed to lift my foot? Well, you lift it as high as you can. It's going to be different for everybody.
Right. This is about as high as I can go.
And that's fine. So if you keep going, you will start to feel it kind of starting to burn.
No,
you already do. Okay, she's good already.
Over here.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
You can try your other side.
Okay.
Little breakdancing move to get over there.
I know, this is awesome.
A little more of a leg bend.
Okay.
So that's actually a good tip to give everybody. The leg should be about 90 degrees, and I'm looking at thigh to calf.
Okay.
So she looks great now.
Like this. Do you kind of lead with your toe when you're lifting your foot?
You want your foot to be parallel with the other one, meaning kind of flush with it.
Okay.
So not leading with the toe, but also toe not falling behind either.
Right.
So that's a great question because the foot form does have a lot of impact on the rest of the movement.
That was 10.
All right.
All right.
So that one we actually can, when we're doing the full workout, we can go up to maybe 20.
Okay.
If that starts getting easy, you'd want to throw some ankle weights on to your ankles.
Okay.
But that probably would take several weeks to
Okay.
build up to that point.
Right.
Okay, so we are going to continue on with the lower body. We will be doing the inner thigh next. That is an area that is a popular request for toning moves. So I'm gonna have the top leg behind, and then we're just lifting that way. Now, you notice I'm not touching the floor. If you touch the floor, it's easier. So we obviously don't wanna make it easier because after all, this is the toning and slimming workout.
Okay, so you leave your leg just slightly off the ground.
Exactly.
And that's sort of the same position as the other one with the head on the hand.
That is
and this
correct,
leg
yep.
here. Okay,
So
this
you
one
want to
goes
have
back.
this foot flat on the ground.
Okay.
So this knee has to stick up to my hand.
Oh, okay.
There
Like
you
this.
go. Yep.
Okay.
Then you want the bottom leg back a little bit.
Like this? Okay.
Now we're going to pretend like there's a big, like kind of like a street on your yoga mat. You can stop for a second. So I want your head, your shoulders, your hips, and your foot all on the middle of the yoga mat.
Okay.
I definitely would love to produce a yoga mat that has a line down the middle, and I still am working on that. That's like one of the projects, but it would come in really handy for a lot of these.
Brilliant.
So you look good now, so you notice it's harder to do when you're lined up the right way.
Exactly.
But
tough.
you're doing great. Yep, so we want to try to hover over the floor. Yep, you're doing well.
And then lift it up like that.
So running, as tremendous as it is for you, it doesn't do a lot for your inner thighs.
Right.
So you're going to feel this one if that's basically what your workout typically is.
Yeah.
All right, you can switch to the other side.
Okay.
Are you noticing one of your legs is tougher than the other?
Yes.
Which one?
I do notice that. My right leg is weaker.
Okay.
So I think when I do this side, we'll feel a difference, but we'll see. Okay, so the line, I have to remember.
Right.
Line up
the imaginary
everything.
line.
Yep.
Now, so what I'm saying though is your bottom leg has to be on our imaginary line.
Okay.
So right now it is like
So
way
like
over.
over
There
here.
you go.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, and then like this.
And on this one, you can pull your toes up more towards your face.
Okay. Oh, like
Yeah,
this.
like that.
Yeah,
Flex
this
foot.
leg is harder.
That's great. Now, Lindsay, I'd like you to stop for a second. I want to show you the other way. You can put this foot on the front if you truly can't do it the way I just showed you. That's going to be slightly easier.
Right, I feel that's a little easier.
Now,
yeah.
I don't suggest that for you because I do think you can handle the other kind.
Yep.
But that would be an option. The only thing is you want to make sure that that leg is always right in line no matter where your other leg is.
Okay.
All right?
So should this leg be touching, the front leg be touching the back leg or really close to it?
It should be close
can
but
be
not
in line?
touching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Wow.
All right, so we've already done 3 for our lower body. We're going to move into some of the upper body ones next. And the first one that we'll do in that is going to be push-up shoulder taps. So we're going to be holding the body in a push-up position like this. Now I want you to shift your weight to the left hand, tap your shoulder, and right. So what this is doing for you is it's a dynamic upper body movement, and it's also some core. So back and forth there. Now that is the advanced version. We can also try on the knees if that is necessary. So.
Okay. We'll try the advanced version.
Wow, she's going all out.
I'm trying to be tough. Okay. So I'm going to start out like this, but so sort of like this.
Just drop your hips a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Now, taking it nice and easy, you want to shift to the left and tap good, and then to the right. Oh, wow. Have you done this before?
No, but
I don't know.
I like this.
I feel like it.
feel like I'm pulling one over, I know.
Yeah, to me, have you done push-ups?
Not usually. But I lift my kids a lot.
Okay.
So-
how much do they weigh?
My little one's about 35 pounds.
Oh, there you go.
Now, I feel like my hips are going like this.
A
Is
little
that
bit.
okay?
So that is really not okay, but
Okay.
I am trying to be nice.
That's nice,
But no.
see?
So here we go. So the hips,
Okay.
we want to keep them as still as we can. They're going to probably move a little, but you want to squeeze your belly and squeeze your butt, and that's going to minimize the movement.
Okay.
You're doing fine. A lot of these core ones are going to be hard to do perfectly, especially the first time.
Okay.
So when I'm working with a client, I usually say, okay, well, if your hips are moving a little bit, fine, but as we do, progress and do it more and more, we want those hips to really stay still.
Okay.
And at a certain point, I start getting mad. but
It's my first time.
Yeah, I mean, you really did fine. So that really comes more down to like your core control and ability than really your arms.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to go to one that is just arm, and this is called lateral shoulder raise. So this one is great for toning the shoulder area. Tell us a little bit about what you do during the day at the studio here.
Okay, well, I work here as the community news producer. I produce a show called the Behavioral Journal, which I'm also the anchor of, but spend a lot of time out in the field, spend a lot of time carrying cameras and equipment around.
There you go.
So, but other than that, I'm mostly the desk.
Okay.
Editing and stuff like that.
So when you're doing your show, you basically, it's like from the waist up, is that?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, like, you must want to look pretty professional and also
Yep.
good on the
Yep.
camera.
Yep.
So anything that's going to work that upper body is going to be really great for her.
Definitely.
So this one, you want to have your hand on your waist and your elbow is slightly bent, and you want to lift the arm to the side. So just like this. Now you can do it 2 arms at a time. I usually find that it's better off to learn it with the 1 arm at a time because you have a little bit more control that way. So why don't you first show me the move without the weight, and so I can check your form.
So like this?
Yeah, just a little bit more elbow up first, and then your hand below it.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little intricacy of it. That's a little tricky.
So like this, and how high up do you bring your elbow?
You want to bring it as high as you can with keeping that form of the elbow higher.
Okay.
So at a certain point, you're going to start to feel the urge to do this, and that's where you stop.
Right, okay.
Okay, so you think you're able to do it?
I think so.
Let's try it.
Let's try it. Okay, and then you go like to this, you start here.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Like that, or is that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Now you can bring it all the way down,
Okay.
and then
Switch sides.
oops.
Oh,
Let's
sorry.
do 10 of these.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you can see even a 5 feels pretty heavy with that
Yeah,
one.
definitely.
Go ahead and try the other side.
Okay. So elbow out like this, and then.
Yeah, and think of it more like a bird, like flapping its wings.
Okay.
Like
okay.
more open.
Okay. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the 5 might be a little much for the first day.
I'm a little weak. What can I say?
I guess
okay.
you don't like hold your kids like this.
Exactly. Okay.
So, but that's also a good way to do it. If you have a weight that's a little bit too big, you can either use your own arm to help yourself lift it, or you can grab a friend and have them help you until you're able to build up to.
Can I try that with 2 arms?
Absolutely.
Okay. So like, say, so you're like this.
Yep.
And then I bring this over like this.
Yeah, you just
like
kind of give it a little
that.
boost.
Yeah, that makes it easier.
You know, and so
Makes the arms
sometimes
weaker.
too, when we're doing these workouts at home, you're not gonna have 20 different weights of dumbbells like the gym might.
Right.
So you have to like
Right.
learn how to compromise with
Improvise.
what you have.
Could I use like cans of soup? And
Absolutely.
Stuff like that?
A can of soup is usually 16 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes will use a bottle of wine,
Okay.
which is usually about 2 to 3 pounds.
Right.
Which is kind of an in-between.
Right.
It looks ridiculous to go like this with a bottle of wine, but I mean, it works. So yeah, that certainly can be of use. A lot of things people will use at home too is the laundry detergent jugs.
Oh yeah, because that's easy to hold on to.
Yeah, it's got the handle, and they can vary, I mean, anything from like 3 pounds to 6, depending on what type and where you shop, I guess.
Right, exactly.
And as you use the laundry detergent, it gets easier. Yay.
Cool.
But stuff like that, milk jugs, any of that is definitely of great use. Okay, so this one is another arm, but we're starting to get a little bit more into some core work. It's called band pull apart. Now, it looks super, super easy, but it's one of the hardest ones there is, so you gotta pay close attention.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with the thumbs sticking up, the elbows by the sides. We're gonna pull the ThyroBand apart, and as we do that, we're drawing the band towards our stomach. So it's pulling apart with the thumbs, turning out and pulling this way. Now what I'm doing to do this is I'm squeezing the muscles in my mid-back. Very difficult to target those muscles with traditional movements. So I'm gonna give you this, and why don't you stand right on the mat so that
Okay.
we're all in our spots here. And so a little bit closer with the hands to start.
Okay.
So you want to start with about 2 inches apart.
Oh, okay.
And make your thumbs point toward each other so we have that
like that?
measurement. Perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
so now I want you to rotate your thumbs out and then pull your elbows back towards my hands. More. There you go. Good. So you're gonna feel like you're sticking your chest out,
Yeah.
which might not
Like
be
you're squeezing
something
your shoulder blades together.
Exactly.
You know?
But it's a little awkward feeling, but it's exactly right. So if you feel awkward, you're doing it correctly.
Okay.
All right. So go ahead and try another 10 of those.
Okay. So you just back and forth.
Well, you want to always reset to the original position.
Sorry. Okay.
Yep. And then pull back.
Okay.
And thumbs out. Remember how I told this is a tough
Oh,
one. So
okay.
Don't be sorry because
like
it's just hard. There's a lot going on. Yeah, exactly. Keep squeezing back. Good. Yep. So this one is tremendous for your posture, and nobody wants a newscaster who is slouched on her chair.
That's true. I like this one already.
All right, so you'll really, and it feels almost good, like a nice stretch in the back, and kind of like a,
yeah, like your shoulder blades. And your shoulders
it just makes you feel
out.
like almost taller, which is nice.
I can always use every inch I can.
Yeah, I've heard too that we start losing inches once we get older.
Right, exactly.
So that's like, let's ward it off now. So that's definitely a cool exercise, and you can put this in your purse and bring it with you to work.
Yep.
And if you have a little break, or you give yourself a little break.
Right.
I mean,
you can do that anywhere.
Oh, exactly. Like
anywhere.
Absolutely. So it's these bands are great, and I mean, if you're sitting in your chair, like nobody's gonna really, like it's not like you have to do some crazy thing.
Yeah.
You're just sitting in the chair with this.
Yep.
No big deal.
Yep.
And it can give you a nice little refresher when you're in the middle of your workday. So we're actually gonna keep using this band. The next one is called Band Clean and Press. This is another of a dynamic movement here. What we're going to do with this one, the clean aspect, this comes from powerlifting, but we're using a TheraBand, so don't get too nervous. I won't do anything that crazy on you. But so the clean is when you pull, and then the press is when you push. So there's two, so pull, lead with the elbows, and then hands go under. So why don't you practice it without the band next to me.
Okay.
You can step right next to me. So up.
And put feet together.
It doesn't really matter about the feet, as long as you're just comfortably standing, you're fine.
Okay.
Yep.
I can watch you do it again. Up like this, and then turn.
Palms forward, and push.
Okay. So
Pull,
pull,
flip.
flip. Sorry.
You do this
Flip.
like little twisty thing that we don't want.
Okay.
Yeah. So keep the palms forward and then up.
Okay.
And pull,
Pull.
flip with the palms forward. Yeah. There you go. You got it.
Okay.
All right.
You're making it more complicated than it is.
You did actually.
Okay.
You did a harder.
And do 2 feet on the band or
Yes.
just one? Okay. So 2 feet on here. Okay. Oops, I'm gonna drop it. Okay, so pull.
Yep. And then flip. Palms forward. And
no,
push.
I'm doing the twisty thing again. Okay, flip. Right.
Yeah.
And push. Okay.
That's right.
So pull, flip, and push.
Good.
Okay.
Now the only thing we have to do now is get your arms a little bit more straighter overhead.
Okay.
So really stretching like you're trying to touch the steel.
Okay. Pull, flip, and push
Good.
like
And
that.
then you just reverse it on the way down, so the opposite.
Okay.
All right, so this one is a little bit more challenging. So we'll just do 3 more of these.
Okay. Wait. Woo. Pull, flip, push.
Good.
And
You're getting
then reverse. Okay.
2 more.
Okay. Pull, flip.
Good. Wow. She's a pro.
I'll get there eventually.
And what you'll notice is the more you do it, you will get a little faster.
Right, right.
But for now, we need to take it step by step and make sure that we've got all the parts in the right position.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, I'll do one more.
Okay.
Pull, flip.
Good. Yeah, nice job.
Okay.
So this band is a medium resistance. Most of the time the green ones are the medium. So you can start with a light one if you need to. And just make sure the band is long enough for your body. So you want the end of it to be about at chin level when you open it. It's okay if it's a little taller or shorter, but you don't want a band only this long or one this tall. That's not gonna work. It's gonna be just about at your height, give or take a little bit.
Do they make them in different lengths?
You know, this one came in a roll and I just kind of
cut it. Okay.
Yeah, there's a, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a kind of a hack job. Like I
Yeah.
just like, but they do make them in individual sizes as well. And you can order like the length that you would want. I use them all the time, so I just order big rolls.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you would want one probably around 5 feet long would be perfect for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are going to work a little bit more with the core next, and this one is called windshield wipers. So legs are up. Now, this is straight leg windshield wipers, a little bit harder. Or we can do bent leg ones, which are a little bit easier. So we could call those ones maybe broken windshield wipers, which my car probably has because everything else on it is broken. But the point of it is to go side to side And what you're gonna find is your obliques, which are the sides of your stomach, left and right, are gonna work when you do that. So go ahead and lie on your back. You can put your arms way out to the side, and that's gonna help keep you balanced.
So arms out like this?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now you can lift your legs up. Now, is it challenging for you to just hold your legs up like this?
No.
So if it's not challenging to hold your legs up, you probably can go right ahead to the regular windshield wipers.
Okay.
So you want to let your feet drop a few inches to the right, a few inches to the left. And if you feel like you're pretty sturdy and you're not going to go flying over, you can go a little further. So the rule of thumb on how far you go is you go as far as you can with still being able to pull your legs back up.
Right.
You might find that if you go too far, you kind of fall over like a...
Yeah, if I feel like I go too far, I'm like tipping, my whole body's
Yeah,
going
you'll
that
feel
way.
your whole body tip, and if you fall and let your legs fall over, whatever, just get right back in. But you'll kind of know, okay, that's about as far as I can go.
Right.
And as you get stronger, you should be able to go a little further. So this looks really good. You're squeezing your feet pretty close together, which is important.
Okay.
You don't want to let the legs start flopping apart. That's not good.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's going to work your inner thighs too to keep the legs close together. Do you feel this in your belly?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel it, like I feel the stretching right here.
Awesome,
You know what I mean?
and that's good too.
Yeah.
So you're going to be getting some back and hamstring flexibility while you're toning your abs all at the same time.
Okay.
It's also good because it's rotational abs. So a lot of times people do crunches or they do sit-ups, and when you do rotational abs like this, it's more like applicable to real life. Like you're driving in your car and your kid is like finger
Screaming
painting,
in the back. Yeah.
finger painting like the car seat, and you're just like, oh. So you're twisting back. So that's usually what people do in real life, is you're twisting. You're not just like doing everything right in front of you.
Right.
So as great as it is to do things like crunches, you want to have that ability to move in different planes. Reach to grab a bag, you know, stand up. Just like any household stuff you'll end up doing, like vacuuming is a big one. A lot of people, they will hurt themselves doing something like vacuuming because you're like reaching as you're moving this vacuum, and it's like a right. So when you only exercise in one plane of motion, you're not really working those muscles in that way. And some people think like, wow, I'm working out, why do I have trouble with some of this? Well, are you replicating what you're doing in real life, or are you just kind of doing this like very safe, constrained gym workout?
Right.
Have you ever felt like you were at risk to kind of hurt yourself doing stuff like that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's easy because you see them on TV, like someone on TV, and they do it so well, but of course they're professionals, and they're like, oh, I wish I could do it like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I mean also too, you know, there's this perception that if you're trying to do a workout, the problem is like you want to look like the professional, which is like natural.
Right.
But nobody looks like that at the beginning.
Right.
So it's really important, I think, that we make sure that we're being realistic about what it looks like when you're new to it. And you know, you actually did a really good job today. And
You can tell I'm new to it, right? Yeah.
I don't, honestly, I don't think you are.
Okay.
But you run too.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. But really, like what people look like on TV doing it and what the average person when they're first trying it is like so not the same thing. That just try to give yourself that little bit of flexibility to realize that trying it is really like all you need to do, and you will get better with practice.
So I feel even when I repeated it, each repetition was a little bit easier.
Exactly. So just don't be afraid to get started because it's only going to get better from there. All right. Well, the Twitter question that came in this month is, some days I work long hours. How can I make sure that my workout isn't the thing that gets canned?
Sounds like my life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think I'll let you start us off here because I feel like part of my job as a trainer is to work out because I don't want to be a hypocrite about it. So I feel like I do really place that priority on it. Plus, my work clothes are my exercise clothes. So I'm already dressed for it, which is half of the battle,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, but tell me, I mean, what do you think about those weeks that you're just like, I am just so tired, there's so much to do?
Yeah. It's hard to find the time. I know people know this out there. They have families. I have a family. I have 2 kids. I work full time. You know, I work a fair amount of hours here. And then, you know, you go home and it's 5 or 6 o'clock and you make dinner and then it's sort of like, wow, you know, when am I going to work out? And I know some people do it in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not a morning person, so I find that very challenging. So
Yes.
when I do work out, I tend to do it after dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just like some nights, you just come home and you just want to collapse. You know, you have to do homework and stuff like that. And
You know, I like the way though you described it as challenging. You didn't say it's impossible.
yeah.
I think the terminology is very important. When we tell ourselves something's impossible, we're just going to give up.
Right.
So that's very important. It's also what she said about knowing what works for you. You could set your alarm for some, horrible
5 a.m. or
hour
something,
and
yeah.
do it, but you'd probably feel awful all day. You wouldn't really have a good workout.
I've tried it, and I just find a very lag in the morning, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think that you need to go with what works for you as far as the time goes. Now, do you tend to plan on the days that you'll work out, or do you just like kind of hope that it'll happen for you?
I tend to plan it like the day before.
Okay.
Like I can't plan it like too far out because you never know how my schedule is going to change,
Yeah.
especially with a job like mine where, I need to go out to events all the time and I don't know when they're going to be happening or news stories and things like that. But I know usually the day before, I'll be like, oh, tomorrow night I'm going to be home a little early and I should have time to work out. And also I tend to work out outside because I don't have a gym membership. So I try to plan it on days when the weather is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so you do, I guess, like semi-planning, like.
I have a question for you,
Sure.
too. How many times a week is considered okay? Because, I wish I could do it every day.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't, but I know also every day is not usually recommended either.
Right. It really depends on your goals. So for everybody, you need at least one rest day a week. So that's just a given. Now, as far as your goals go, if you're looking at cardiovascular fitness, I would say the minimum to improve or at least maintain is like 3 times a week.
Okay.
With strength training, you can almost just get away with 2 times a week.
Okay, but like 3 or 4 times a week is manageable.
It's plenty. If you're really trying to lose weight, significant amounts of weight, you really do need to do 5+ days.
Okay.
So it really depends on your goals.
Okay.
But my word is always that, some is better than nothing. So go ahead and just do what you can and just keep trying.
Good. So I can get in my 3 days a week. I don't feel guilty.
I think you're good. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.